What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to this really exciting Anfield Agenda late night news roundup. We're going to be talking through the future of Harvey, Elliot and a couple of other interesting bits and pieces, but the main focus of this video is going to be on the links with Liverpool and Julian Alvarez and how that may become a possibility. Sam Maguire printed a story earlier on with Anfield Watch. We're going to run you through it and give you our take on it over the next few minutes. But you know the score. We want to know your thoughts, so feel free to let me know in the comment section. Drop a like if you enjoy the video, and I certainly hope you do, especially with the main topic in it. And of course, we'd also love you to hit that subscribe button. So let's start off with the Harvey Elliott news. So Alex Crook reports that Liverpool value Harvey Elliott in excess of £40 million and that there are a number of Premier League clubs sniffing around with interest, one of them being Wolves. So let me know what you guys think on this one. Do you think Harvey Elliott will end up at Wolves? We know Eddie Howe and Newcastle are also interested. I think that will be a better fit for Harvey personally, but I want to know your thoughts on it. 40 million price tag. Wolves, the latest club to be interested, and of course we know Eddie Howe and Newcastle are as well. Real Madrid apparently, as we mentioned in tonight's late night agenda, plan to continue their strategy of signing elite players as free agents. This piece from Marcus suggests that Ibrahim Konate is the next target on their list. So, of course, Liverpool, well, we need to make sure this doesn't happen, either by signing Konate to a new deal, or if the worst comes to the worst, making sure that you recoup a fee this summer. Of course, we hope that the main point in this is that he stays. We want him to stay. We want Konate to continue with Virgil van Dijk and maybe add in Huijsen as well as a contender for those centre-back places. But let's just hope Real Madrid don't come in and frustrate us again. I don't think the club will allow it to happen personally, and hopefully we can see Konate agreeing that new deal to stay with the Reds. Another bit of news as well before we move on to the big story about Julian Alvarez is that Kudus is open to leaving West Ham this summer. Now, we know that he has an £85 million release clause in there. He apparently favours a move to Liverpool over other Premier League clubs, but honestly, I just don't think he's worth the money at the prices we're talking here. Because Mohamed Salah stayed as well, I'd prefer Bryan Mbeumo if we were to bring somebody else in to help with the attack. He looks like he's going to leave, as we mentioned earlier on in the video. His captain at Brentford, Christian Norgard, admits that he thinks we will see Bryan Mbeumo depart. Now, apologies if I feel like I'm rushing through this video, because I kind of am, because I'm just as excited about everybody else as this Sam Maguire exclusive. So I'm going to take you through some sections of this. Of course, we would urge you to go read the article in its entirety over at Anfield Watch. But Sam Maguire's exclusive said that Liverpool are open to selling Darwin Nunez to Atletico Madrid at a discounted rate if it helps them land Julian Alvarez this summer. Now, I'm going to read you through some of the bits from the article so you can get a fuller picture of what's going on. So, Sam writes that Anfield Watch understands the former Benfica man could be sold for as little as £35 million, i.e. Darwin Nunez, this summer. Atletico Madrid, however, are the only team with access to Darwin at a discounted rate, meaning if the Saudi Pro League or anybody else wanted to come in for Darwin, Liverpool would command or want a higher fee than the £35 million. He goes on to say that he's a facilitator and a goal scorer. His work rate is there. He goes on speaking a little bit more about Julian Alvarez and his attributes. But the really interesting part in this piece comes in the second half. He said Liverpool are prepared to be flexible with Darwin if it gives them favourable terms to bring Julian Alvarez back to the Premier League. As shown with João Felix and Conor Gallagher last summer, the La Liga club are open to clever bookkeeping. Now, Sam Maguire wrote a piece a while back suggesting that when Julian Alvarez was leaving Manchester City, Liverpool tried to make that deal happen but just couldn't get the terms right. Continuing on with Sam's piece, he said Alvarez is happy in the Spanish capital, but if there's any club that could tempt him to leave after just 12 months, it's Liverpool. The club are confident of that and have contingency plans in place for it if it doesn't pan out. So Sam reckons that Liverpool are confident that a deal for Julian Alvarez could be done. And I've said all the way through, he's my number one target. Yes, it would have been lovely to have Isak, but Julian Alvarez has been a player that if you go all the way back to when Manchester City signed him from River Plate, I was talking about what a bargain he was and what a good fit he would be for this Liverpool team. I thought that door had closed, but this news opens up the possibility. Goes on to say the Reds have 3 trump cards in this situation. Alexis McAllister, Gonzalo Siegrist and Fernando Traini. The Argentine striker has a good relationship with the latter two, both South American scouts for Liverpool, while he's good friends with his international teammate, of course, Alexis McAllister, who will, I'm sure, speak in glowing terms about what life is like at Liverpool. So if we say 35 million pound would be a number that Liverpool would allow Darwin to go for if they were going to sell Julian Alvarez in the opposite direction, what do we think would be a number that you could add on to that? 50 million? That sounds about right to me. That would give Alvarez a valuation of about 85 million pound, allowing, probably even higher if you allowed that Darwin Nunez is taking a hit or Liverpool are taking a hit on him. So from Atleti's point of view, they would certainly recoup the money that they spent on the player. Now, I've heard mixed reports about whether he is happy with life in Madrid or not. Some people suggest that he's unhappy with how this season has gone. But as this piece points out from Sam, if Liverpool are confident and Liverpool feel like they have 3 ace cards in this, then please make it happen. This would be a deal that would make the summer incredible for me. If you could bring in Julian Alvarez instead of Darwin Nunez, that would make me very confident that Liverpool could continue to challenge for the highest honours. Look, we should be looking to do that anyway, but if you brought him in, you moved Jota on, you brought somebody else in. There's talk that Chiesa is going to move on. We were speaking again earlier on today about a couple of links to a move to Italy, but that Liverpool are only open to a permanent move and wouldn't be interested in a loan there for Federico Chiesa. But mostly I want to know 2 things in the comments if I can, folks. One, would you be happy if that was the case? If Liverpool did cash in on Darwin Nunez, even taking a bit of a knock on the purchase price to make it possible for us to sign Julian Alvarez? And would you be happy if Julian Alvarez was the guy to come in? I know lots of people have different players they like. Hugo Ekitike, of course, Isak is one. We've spoken about Gyökeres and how Liverpool aren't looking at him as a realistic option. Bryan Mbeumo, he could, well, look, in a dream scenario here, for me, you sell Jota and Darwin, you bring in Alvarez and Mbeumo, but look, I'm probably getting ahead of myself there and getting a bit carried away. But this is a really exciting development. Sam goes into quite a bit of detail in the piece, talking about why Liverpool think this is possible, and of course, why it could make sense for Atletico Madrid financially. So, over to you guys now. Do let us know your thoughts on this one. So just to confirm, Liverpool willing to be flexible on a fee for Darwin Nunez and take a bit of a hit, but only with Atletico Madrid and only if they're willing to do business with Julian Alvarez. Your guess is as good as mine about what Liverpool may offer on top of that, but I would suggest it's probably a fee of about 50 million upwards, and I would very much say, yes, please get it done. Look, I'm giddy. That's what I'm going to say. I am giddy over this one. So please, let's see it happen. You let me know your thoughts in the comment section. We will be back tomorrow for the late night agenda. Sorry this video is coming out a little bit later, but of course we were all glued to that Champions League semi-final, which Inter Milan won 4-3 on the night in extra time. Incredible 7-6 on aggregate. Now it's over to you guys. Do you think this is possible? Would you be happy, Julian Alvarez? And any other bits and pieces that you want to throw into the comments, feel free, and I will try my best to get through as many of them as I can. Folks, we'll see you tomorrow 8:45. Until then, much love as always. Bye-bye.